Hi guys, this is Amit Rishi, and in this particular video of ecology in environment and science and technology current affair topics, we'll cover two extremely important topics: RESAT 2B, the satellite, and BS6 fuel norms. So let's begin with RESAT 2B. Now guys, talking about this particular satellite, ISRO has successfully launched RESAT 2B satellite using PSLV C46. Sometimes what happens, not only the satellite but the launching pad becomes important too. So we have to remember that apart from RESAT 2B launching program, it was launched using PSLV C46, that's Polar Satellite Launching Vehicle. It's a radar imaging Earth observation satellite, and is intended, the main purpose was to provide services in the field of agriculture, forestry and disaster management. Keep in mind that particularly in APAC region, that is APAC region, that is Asia Pacific, we don't have satellites that can provide intricate and precise details of the disaster management related images. Moving on, it is provided with a sensor called, very important term, synthetic aperture radar. This is what makes this particular satellite a state of art satellite which takes high quality images. SAR, synthetic aperture radar, can also provide details such as size of objects on Earth, structure, movement and changes, which complements the data that is being gathered through the normal ones. The normal ones have optical remote sensing satellite. So what scientists are doing, they get information from normal optical remote sensing satellites, they get information with RESAT 2B with inbuilt synthetic aperture radar, and use these two data and get very precise information. Radar imaging satellite 2B is an Indian radar reconnaissance satellite. Reconnaissance is a military term where we monitor something that is part of India's RESAT program. So actually the RESAT entirely is a program where several satellites are launched, and we have planned to launch further satellites as well. It is built by ISRO and was launched by PSLV C46 on 22nd of May last year from the launch pad Satish Dhawan Space Center. So this is the main payload, RESAT 2B, and this particular parts, as we know, gets ejected during the course of rocket trajectory. Now some more information. The satellite has a mass of 615 kg, featuring synthetic aperture radar. You must remember this particular name along with the name of RESAT 2B, because this is the core, this is the key. The main core of RESAT 2B is SAR, and it is built for 5-year operational lifetime. As we know, most of the satellites have a lifetime. RESAT 2B will be launched into a 37-degree inclined orbit at 555 km orbital height. RESAT 2B, RESAT 2BR1 and RESAT 2BR2 all are satellites which are under the program of RESAT program of India, will be launched in 2019 on Indian PSLV launch vehicles. We have seen this information. Regular remote sensing or optical imaging satellites work like a light dependent camera. This is where we fail to gather informations that cannot perceive hidden or surreptitious objects in cloudy, dark conditions. Suppose there is a cloudy condition, it could be raining, it could be snowy climate. This is where the normal satellite which is using optical imaging fails to provide any kind of images or data, and even if they provide, they are not very precise. But satellites that are equipped with active sensor synthetic aperture radar can sense or observe Earth in a spatial way, from day, night, rain, cloud, haze, sun, snow. It can get you the real picture. Now radar imaging satellite is complex to assemble. Interpreting its image is equally complex. It will mark the resumption of vital ring of Indian all-seeing radar imaging satellites after 7 years. Very important piece of information. Apart from providing the images for, as we have seen, for agriculture and disaster management, it will add to reconnaissance capability from about 500 km from space. It means it will add to the military power to Indian nation. So a constellation of such space-based radar means a comprehensive vigil over country. So what happens here is not only we are monitoring the land part, even the coastal area is getting monitored 24/7 365. That gives us an upper hand. So as we have seen, for interpreting his images from RISAT 2B, what actually happens, it is fed into a very high production computer, and we used parallel processing where several computers are processing the data, and eventually it is received on a main computer acting as a server, and it is projected in the form of graphical image. Its application: in India, radar imaging are used for crop estimation because our main crop season of Kharif is in May to September, when it rains and gets cloudy. We have used this data extensively for forestry, soil land use, geology, and during floods and cyclone. Due to an all-weather seeing feature, you must remember that it's an all-weather seeing feature, the satellite becomes spatial for security forces and disaster relief agencies as well. Now here are some images from RISAT 2B. These kind of images are gathered from this particular satellite. Two previous radar enabled satellites launched by India into space were RISAT 1 and RISAT 2. The latter, RISAT 2, being an acquisition from Israel. Israel helped us in technological field. These satellites help security and intelligence agencies to plan surgical strikes on 2016 on terror launchpads in Pakistan occupied Kashmir, and Balakot aerial strike in February last year. The first satellite, the RISAT 2, was launched in 2009. The 300 kg satellite used an X-band synthetic aperture radar (SAR) made by Israel Aerospace Industry. Now RISAT 2 was launched first because RISAT 1, it was indigenously built and developed by ISRO. It was the launching of this particular satellite was delayed because of the 2008 Mumbai terror attack. So we prioritized the launch of RISAT 2, and that's why the RISAT 1 launch was delayed. It is built to work for at least 5 years. We have seen the lifespan, and would replace the RISAT 2, and which is in use for monitoring activities in camps in Pakistan and thwarting infiltration bids by terrorists from across the border. This is the third, RISAT 2B. This is the third Indian RISAT in 10 years and has been placed at low Earth 557 kilometers orbit. We have seen this information that it can provide very precise images of Earth. The information will complement data from normal optical remote sensing satellites, and this data from satellites are vital for the armed forces as well as agriculture forecasters, disaster relief agencies. We have covered that. Now very important piece of information, this is the fourth flight unit of RISAT program. With this advancement, Earth observation satellite, ISRO has introduced a complex new technology, that is 3.6 meter unfurlable radial rib antenna. This technology, this again a kind of state of art, one of its kind technology, and this is also going to be the future technology in space world. The SAR send out hundreds of radio signals. Now you must remember that it works on radio signal every second towards the subject, I mean Earth, and capture the reflected signals to create a radio image which can then be used by computers to build a real image. Now guys, the information that I am providing you is more than enough for these two topics. But even though if you have any kind of curiosity, you can go ahead and read or maybe watch another. You can get information, but the information that I am providing you is more than enough for these two topics. ISRO orbited its first two radar satellites in 2009 and 2012, and it plans to deploy 4 or 5 of them in 2019 alone. We must keep in mind that because of lockdown and COVID-19 pandemic attack, it could be delayed. A constellation of such a space-based radar means comprehensive vigil over the entire nation. RISAT-2B was the first satellite in series launched for the purpose of surveillance. RISAT-1 was launched later to become India's first all-weather radar imaging satellite. Very important piece of information. Now, control of satellite. The agency ISRO Telemetry Tracking and Command Network, also known as ISTRAC, at Bangalore assumed control of the satellite. For RISAT-2B, this will control the entire operations and monitoring of this particular satellite. This is the image from the place. Now, what is the significance of using this satellite? The RISAT-2B is an advanced Earth observation satellite with the advanced technology we have seen. Radial rib antenna, important term with reference to this particular satellite. While launching this particular satellite, we piggyback some payloads, one of which is Vikram processor and low-cost MEMS based inertial navigation system INS developed by Semiconductor Laboratory, very important place for our satellite development area, Chandigarh, and ISRO Inertial System Unit. This is the inside image of the Semiconductor Laboratory SCL Chandigarh. Now coming to yet another very important topic, that is BS6 fuel norms. BS6 fuel will bring down sulfur by 5 times from the current BS4 level. Now we must remember that we are after this particular culprit, sulfur. I would suggest you to read, whenever you read BS6, think of sulfur, which is equivalent to an 80% reduction of sulfur from 50 ppm to 10 ppm. The harmful NOx, that is oxides of nitrogen, NO2 and NO3 emission from diesel cars and petrol cars can be brought down by nearly 70 and 25% respectively for diesel and petrol cars. The PM matter like PM2.5 and PM10 are the most harmful components of air pollution, and BS6 will reduce their emission in diesel cars by moving 80%. Now think of this. The 80% reduction in pollution by diesel cars. Moving on, according to United Nations report, 9 out of 10 people on the planet are now breathing polluted air. This has led to global health crisis, causing 7 million deaths per year as per the data provided by WHO. In India alone, air pollution is killing 1 lakh children under the age of 5 years and is responsible for around 13%, or to be exact 12.5% of all deaths in the country. According to WHO measures, India has 9 of the world's 10 most polluted cities. Now think of this, guy. COVID-19 and the fatality related with the COVID-19 cases is growing day by day, and we all are taking all the necessary precautions associated with it. We have never thought of reducing the fatalities, the deaths caused by pollution. The figure of COVID-19 fatalities is way below than the comparing to the fatalities because of air pollution. Additional very important informations over the years. It is not that government is not taking anything. The government is deploying different kind of plans, making awareness campaign, and few of them has taken various initiatives to address the issues related to air pollution, such as National Clean Air Program to reduce the pollution by 20 to 30%. The Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, especially for rural areas. And now the Bharat Stage 6 emission norms. The switch to BS6 vehicle was to happen in 2022. But looking at the poor air condition, what actually happened, Supreme Court intervened and the move was preponed. All vehicles will have to follow new standards, that's BS6 from 1st of April 2020, and the standard cover 4 and 2 wheelers and commercial vehicles as well. At present, BS4 and BS3 fuels are available across India. Important piece of information that Hero MotoCorp received BS6 certification. In fact, this is the first company in two-wheeler segment which received this particular certificate. Now let's see what exactly the certificate is. Hero MotoCorp, world's largest two-wheeler manufacturer, has become the first two-wheeler manufacturer in India to receive the BS6 certification. As we discussed, it received the type approval certificate. Now this is the certificate from the issuing agency. It's called International Center for Automotive Technology, ICAT. These two are important terms. This is the agency name which issues the certificate, International Center for Automotive Technology, for the Splendor iSmart motorcycle. This is the particular segment of bike which got the BS6 compliance certificate after it was successfully tested for the compliance. Now the Environment Ministry is responsible for deciding the fuel standard in the country. An obvious statement but very tricky one. It is the Environment Ministry which is responsible for deciding the fuel standard, and agencies like CPCB only implements them. So it is decided by Environment Ministry and CPCB implements them. The BS regulations are based on European emission standard. These are world-class, scientifically approved standards. Companies can come up with new vehicles with BS6 fuel standards even before April if they want. But after the deadline, vehicles that do not comply with BS6 standards will not be allowed in Indian roads. They will not get registered. So here is a piece of article from Times of India where Supreme Court has suggested for the vehicles which are not compliant, they can be exported or they can be turned into scrap. Another piece of information, the advantages. Now here you will get all the crux of information that in the BS6 fuel the volume of PM 2.5 ranges from 20 to 40 micrograms per cubic meter, whereas in BS4 it was 120 microgram. So it will reduce to 120 right up to 20 to 40. BS fuel will bring down sulfur content. As I said, sulfur, we have to reduce the sulfur content. So it will reduce it by 5 times from current level. It has 10 ppm of sulfur as against 50 ppm of sulfur in BS4. Now why is sulfur? Sulfur is a fuel contributes to fine particulate matter emission. High sulfur content in the fuel also leads to corrosion and wear of automobile engine. With BS6 fuel, for every 1 kilometer, a car will emit 80% less particulate matter and nearly 70% less nitrogen oxide. These two statements are enough to make every vehicle on the road in India BS6 compliant. Air pollutants in BS6 fuel are much less as compared to BS4 fuel. BS6 norms also seek to reduce the level of certain harmful hydrocarbons in the emission that are produced due to incomplete combustion of fuel. In coming series we will see how it can lead or it leads to formation of black carbon. The cost of producing BS6 grade fuel will be higher compared to BS4 fuels. Obviously, the two-wheeler predominantly use carbureted engine. Air and fuel for internal combustion are mixed in proper air-fuel ratio, and they have to now move to fuel injection engine system. You must have heard of the term MPFI. It's multi-point fuel injection. An injector is used to introduce the fuel for internal combustion. For meeting gasoline fuel quality, we have to remember these two terms: desulfurization technology with octane boosting. So we are installing these two in several places: desulfurization technology and octane boosting units. Oil companies are making significant changes in their oil refining techniques. They have to. The new standard requires that the use of sulfur in diesel should come down to 10 ppm, whereas in BS2 it was 500 ppm. This change will affect the density of diesel oil. The usual density of BS4 fuel diesel ranges from 820 to 845 kg per cubic meter. Now it will be 860 kg per cubic meter. The Auto Fuel Vision Policy 2025 in June 2014 had recommended a 75% cess to recoup additional investment projected for producing the cleaner fuel. So guys, to sum up, what exactly is BS6 emission norms? There were some keywords that I have told you that these are important. Bharat Stage Emission Standard, BSES, are emission standard instituted by the Government of India. It is to regulate the output of air pollutants from internal combustion engine and spark ignition engine equipments, including motor vehicle. The standard and the timeline for implementation are set by CPCB. We have seen this under the Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change. In 2016, Indian government announced that the country would skip BS5 norms. There was a long story why BS5 was skipped. It's not very relevant to us altogether, and adopt BS6 norms by 2020. By moving to BS6, the country will be using the highest specification of the fuel standard available in the world right now. The Ministry of Road Transport and Highway, that's MORTH, has mandated a strip of green color 1 cm width on top of existing stickers carrying details of registration for BS6. It will indicate that the particular vehicle is BS6 compliant. Vehicle of any fuel type will carry this particular green strip irrespective of their original stickers, whether it's petrol or CNG, which have light blue color sticker, and diesel vehicle, which is of orange color. These stickers will now have a green strip of 1 cm on top of BS6 as mandated. Now this is a piece of information that I collected from Car Talk. You might have heard of this particular name. It is for car fanatics and people who love cars and automobile. Car makers would have to put 3 pieces of equipment: a DPF, diesel particulate filter, an SCR, selective catalytic reduction system, and Alentine lean NOx trap. These 3 devices are required to be put to meet the stringent BS6 norms simultaneously, all at the same time. This is vital to curb both PM and NOx emission as mandated under BS6 norms. And we have seen the International Center for Automotive Technology, that's ICAT, released India's first type approval certificate TAC for Bharat Stage 6 norms for two-wheeler segment. This is India's first certification in two-wheeler segments for BS6 norms that are the latest emission norms as notified by Government of India. So guys, this is a content rich presentation, and as I said earlier, you do not have to read anything extra apart from this to cover these two topics. Here is a graphical representation of history of the fuel emission norms. Now moving on to some current affairs. Volvo Eicher receives first commercial BS6 certificate. ICAT, the agency, has completed the first BS6 certification for heavy duty engine model for Volvo Eicher Commercial Vehicle Limited. The engine has been developed and manufactured indigenously by Volvo Eicher in India. Very important. German auto major Mercedes-Benz has unveiled India's first BS6 compliant S-Class car produced at its Pune facility. The BS6 compliant S-Class car was unveiled more than 2 years ahead of government deadline of April 2020 for switching to new BS6 emission norms. As I said, with the nationwide lockdown due to the coronavirus, the Supreme Court extended the transition from BS4 to BS6 by 10 days. Initially, the date was 31st of March, that is 1st of April. There would be no vehicle without BS6 compliance certificate. However, this particular order does not apply to the National Capital Region. So guys, these two topics are very important, and I have tried to gather all the relevant information from various sources. I hope this particular session was informative for you. This is Amit Rishi signing off. Thank you guys.